Alright. I think we have everyone that's gonna be here. Alright, everybody's with me, can hear me, and now can see my screen.
Yes.
Alright. Okay, so I downloaded all the files, mostly today, so if anyone uploaded anything earlier and their file isn't here, just let me know when we're rolling through this, because I think some people gave me like progress, and I give them feedback, but I may not have your finals. I may not have your files because I didn't actually know that was the final submission. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just start with Adriana. Alright. Excited about this one. Did you want to say anything about your piece? Make sure we can see that. Adriana, any last words? That's fine. You can be like, my inspiration was Floating Bird. You didn't know what else to do. Yeah, I like how it came out. So here is the final version, and I will command Y so you can see the artwork. Let me hide her background layer, just so you can see all the work. I like how it came out. I think it's awesome. Ah, no one needs to see my chrome. No, we've worked on it together for a while. I think it came out pretty cool. I mean, I like the whole idea of the background. You have like the different blacks in there, so it gives it some depth, like some actual depth there. And I think some of the brushes that you use were really fun to kind of break up just that flat space. And then I didn't even notice it until now, because I mean, the kind of crayon look can look really bad, but I think you minimized it to the fact where this kind of like brush stroke that's almost like a crayon looks more aesthetically pleasing, if that makes sense. And like the really light blue for the swan feathers and stuff looks great. And the gradient, I think, looks awesome too. Yeah, no, I think it looks awesome. I'm glad I got to see it along the way.
Love the colors and the shadow on the green. They're really nice.
hmm
Very
I
nice.
didn't even notice it because when I downloaded them, I looked at the command Y just to see, what kind of real work was involved, if imagery and stuff was used. But I was like, oh wow, there's actually some really nice brushwork in here, because the colors really made it look really good. So I'm impressed with it. I think it definitely looks
Nice.
like you had some fun learning some new things. Really, the bow tie? I have to go back now and look at it. Oh, that's cute. He's classy. That's awesome. Yeah, no, really, really nice job on it. It did. I now I can't see it without the bow tie. I think it's awesome. All right, anyone else? All right, really nice job. All right, Annie, you with me? Do you want to talk about your work at all? Nope. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in on it and check out some of the line work. Just checking out some of your textures and stuff in there. I like the subtle use of the textures that you ended up using, especially over the bird. I couldn't really see it until I zoomed in, but now that I zoom in, I really like how it came out. I was like, oh, it's too simple. It's not, now that you added those final textures in there. I think it looks pretty good. Let me check out what did you do the background with. Oh, okay. I saw the artwork in this mode and I was wondering what that was. Okay, that makes sense. So you did a bunch of just different kind of gradients or glows to kind of give the background a less flat feel. Well, this assignment's probably one of the tougher ones because there's no real objective except for find a style and have it look professional when you present it. I mean, this is a tough project because you get to just make art in a way. I mean, it has to be, you know, the standard that it needs to be, but no, I think you did a nice job on it. The only things I could think of that, I mean, maybe do a test print on it. Like, I love how you have, like, the width on the feathers and stuff a little bit different, how it's not all one stroke. Maybe just add a very faint kind of, like, glow underneath his little feet, just implying a drop shadow. But other than that, I mean, test print it, and I think it looks really nice. It's aesthetically pleasing. You can tell the drawing's good. I don't see a lot of gaps when I zoom in. I think it looks good. Really nice job. Yeah. He looks like he could be just like hitching a ride. He's like, come, pick me up.
But the color palette, oh, it's so nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
agreed.
Love it.
Taxi.
Love it.
Yeah, colors are tough too. I mean, you'll see a few that need a little bit of work with the coloring, but I mean, you have a really good grasp of your colors with the muted palette, especially that with like how crispy and contrasted looking his eyes are. I loved it. Really nice. Alright, Ariana, sorry. I just talked to Adriana. This is my life today. Express the stress that we all feel doing homework at night. Alright. I feel you there. Let me zoom out and take a look at your line work. Whoa, holy crap. Did you use Procreate or did you actually use Illustrator? Because I know some people started in Procreate and then imported it into Illustrator and kind of finished up. So, Illustrator? Awesome. How did you do it? Did you use a lot of the blob brush? The blob brush, like when you, that's why I'm kind of looking at your artwork like, wow, like you can actually do, I mean there's, there's paint brushes, but then there's like the blob brush tool. Let me zoom out. Which I think is what you use for a lot of the background. It's just another paintbrush, but it kind of auto smooths out as you're working. Because that's why it would have all of this here versus just be layers. But no, I like how it came out. I mean, I saw your rough and I was like, definitely get some awesome eyelashes in there. And I'm like, yay, they're there. It looks great. I love the different thicknesses and widths that you have here. Yeah, definitely, again, when you guys get to portfolio or even, you know, if you have your own home printer, do a little test print and see what kind of stuff you can see. I mean, because there's very little on screen that sometimes you can tell you need to change, but then, like, just little tiny things like that, one little spot that, you know, or just little tiny overlaps. I love how it came out. Yeah, the coloring's great again. You can sleep now. Right? Impressive pieces. I told you last night, Sophia, I was literally talking to you because I thought you were still online, and you weren't.
I was downloading the other thing.
Oh, I was like, are you there? And I was like, I literally did not cancel classes this week because I wanted to be here for this critique. I didn't want to suck out and have it be like, like me critiquing online and no one else participating because I was like, oh, that works good, you know?
Oh, beautiful job.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. Alright, let's
Nice.
do one more. I'll stop the recording and start my next one. Alright, Jose, are you with us? Anything that you want to say about your work?
She's there? No.
I see
She
him.
said that wasn't going to come today. Somebody else.
One.
Oh.
One's not gonna be here, I don't think. Which I was like, that's okay. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you've crushed my computer a couple of times. Thanks. How I did on Illustrator. It's alright, it happens. I mean, you're learning. Yeah, texture brushes can be really heavy. Heavy meaning it takes up a lot of memory on your computer. So I'm trying to scroll so that you can see it. I'll try one more time and I might have to force quit my Illustrator and just show you all the PDF. But, yeah, when it's a texture brush and it has like almost like a bitmap look to it, meaning like a Photoshop type of grunge, Illustrator has a hard time processing it. Come on, Illustrator. You did it for me before. Okay, I'm not gonna move my computer again. But that's the outline. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, just personal preference for me, if I could show you the other version again. This happens to me at school too, so I don't even feel bad. I'm like, this computer or work computer would be doing the same thing. There we go. I mean, for me, personal preference, I almost would have said do a cleaner edge. Like, have the black line be super clean, so you can mess with some thicks and thins in the width tool and have it be a little bit more refined. And then kind of mess around with the different textures. But I mean, just from your preview, I think you used texture brushes. It must have taken you forever for your computer to even just render it, right? Did you crash a lot, or did you... Oh, you didn't? I was like, the brushes are really, really heavy. Yeah, no, I think it, let me go back to your PDF. I'm glad you gave me a PDF, because not everybody did. But this is the PDF for me. I'm like, why does it not render? I might just be rendering in your layers as well. There we go. I think the PDF looks better than the Illustrator file. I think it rendered your colors better. I don't know which one completely was your intention, but in the PDF, since it makes it a little bit less primary looking, it helps with the color saturation. But just again, personal preference. I think the edges, if you would have maybe just done more with the width tool or maybe a refined edge and then texture inside it, it would have kind of given it a more finished look. I mean, I know it's a lot of texture and everything in there, so it probably took forever to do singly, right? Yeah. I was like, why? There is someone, I can't remember off the top of my head, who did a texture piece, and it looks like it took a long time, but because the textures are brushes instead of just single brush strokes, um, it's a much quicker process. So when we get to that piece, I'll remind you. I'll be like, this is what I was talking about. You used your iPad. Yeah, the iPad's awesome. I actually have a pile of crap that I need to sell on like Marketplace or OfferUp because I never use my tablet. Besides my iPad and my iPencil, I never use. I mean, I saved for a long time for this really good, like Wacom tablet. I never use it now. Not with the iPencil. Yeah, it's awesome. It's like having. I mean, it's just like having a Wacom. Alright, so let me stop recording.